started, hey, do me a favor. If you guys could click the share button. Let's get a bunch of people on here. I'm just going to invite a bunch of people. And I totally goofed, by the way, and put his titled podcast up on my podcast already, and it's not. It's with James Shelby, so I apologize. We're going to get that fixed. Okay. So can you guys hear me? Right below, because I've had some problems today, I'm going to go to my personal page. Let me turn my sound off. Looks like we got some people on it. I cannot see if posts happen or not. For some reason on my phone, it's been going weird lately. So please put comments, questions, and I'll check it out on my computer. It's the only way I'll be able to see it. But I'm going to go over my conversation with Ryan Stewman. I had no idea about him. I hadn't read any of his books. I hadn't heard, oh, cool, yeah, Greg, you can see it. Brett, I can actually see my comments this time. It wasn't working earlier. So a couple things that I learned from him. He's out of, originally from, I think, Dallas, Texas here. And when you talk to the dude, he sounds like he's from on the farm, on the ranch, right? And I love that about him, okay? He wrote a book called Elevator to the Top. If you go to elevatortothetop.com, his book for free right now. He's got about 2,000 copies left, a little bit less than 2,000 copies to get out. He's got free. You got to pay for shipping, though. He's not going to read it for you. But I did this interview with him, and there's a couple things his business is built around. So here's the first and most part for me that I got out of it. I love interviewing people at such a high caliber because I get to learn so freaking much. So his platform's based off of three things. One's digital training. That's his membership website of $297 a month. Okay, he's got his consulting, which is it's kind of like a higher end hybrid type thing where he charges $2,500 a month. Like you got to be $2,500 a month to join the program. And then the other part is he does live events where he charges $5,000 to show up at that event, right? So really cool how he set up that system. Is on track. He did about 8 million, I think, last year. Is on track to do 7 to 10 this year million in revenue and sales. So that's really, really cool. Built on a team of 14. He writes for Huffington Post, Forbes. He has a blog, Hardcore Closer, and a couple of things that I picked up from. I didn't know I did. He'd spent 4 years in prison. Went to prison twice. I didn't even ask him why because I didn't really care. Like that wasn't the point of the conversation. I wanted to ask questions that what I could learn from him, and I can't learn going to prison, but I can learn of like what his story was coming out of prison and creating a multiple 7-figure business, right? Almost to an 8-figure business. Okay. One thing that stuck out is he says he's a major pattern interrupt. Okay, if you guys don't know linguistic programming, that's NLP is disrupting your patterns, right? We have linguistic programming, so what he is a major pattern interrupt. If you see the guy, he's completely full of tattoos. He says fuck way more than I do, and I think I say it a lot, right? And just everything about him is completely opposite of what most coaching and training companies are about. You look at you look at Grant Cardone, dude. He's clean cut. He's shirt and tie. He's intense and brings a ton of energy, but he's completely opposite. That's one thing I learned from him. He has a foundation. I thought this was so cool. His company's Break Free Academy. His goal is to help people break free financially. I am all about financial freedom. That's why I started winning the online game. Break Free Foundation, this is what stuck out to me because I'm in the middle of starting my own charity right now with my wife. We're putting together the board of directors and naming it and stuff. And it was cool just to hear his name because that whole thing, Break Free Foundation, is the whole purpose is to give back. You say you got a salesperson that gets diagnosed with cancer, they can apply to the foundation. The foundation will help take care of that person and their family, right? So cool. Give some reactions if that's cool. What I thought was cool too is he takes several of his customers from 6 figures to 7 figures. I want you to think about that, going from 6 figures to 7 figures a year in revenue. But the thing that stuck out to me the most, right? And I've heard this from when I've met with Ben Kinney. I've interviewed guys like Joshua Smith. I've interviewed several top teams, Jeff Latham I believe in Washington, Joe in Michigan, several seven-figure real estate earners and several multiple seven-figure earners on my podcast. And this one stuck out the most to me of why it's important to get rich, to make money. I know Ben Kinney's big thing is because you don't know the day that you're going to get sick and not be able to produce. You got to have money for the rainy day, the problem, the shit that's going to go wrong, right? I know Josh, his is just straight out hustle, a burning desire to be a liquid billionaire, right? And to fulfill his purpose on earth, creating his business. And some people say it's because they want that car, they want that Lamborghini or that G-Wagon or that lifestyle, right? Whatever that is, right? But this one stuck out to me because he started talking about putting money before God. And if you guys know me, God's number one, right? And he says put money before God because money can fix almost all problems, right? And I didn't get where he was going with, and he's not religious, he's not atheist, he's not Jewish, he's not spiritual, he's not new age, whatever. He's Ryan Stewman, right? If you know anything about him, like he's just like his own breed, his own brand, right? But he said this, to write this down, because I brought up, people are thinking, hey, don't think that he's saying the love of money here, because I got his message, right? I connected, I heard it, I saw it, I felt it, like I got what he was saying, right? In the Bible, people read all the time, the love of money is the root of all evil. And I could imagine people just taking his message that way. I could just see it, right? But he said this, the respect of money is the root of all greatness. And I was like, holy shit, I've never heard anything even along those lines, right? Because I knew and I learned and I understand that when you manage money, when you take stewardship over money, when you know where to put the money ahead of time before you get it, like what it's going. Like for example, I know 12% of my every dollar earned is going into my FFA account. I know that 10% is going into long-term savings. I know that 10% off the top is going, or more sometimes, depending on what time of the year I'm at, is going over to be reserves for taxes. I know that I'm putting 7% aside for education. Like I know where every dollar goes. Right? That's managing, that's stewarding. And I never thought of it like that. The respect of money is the root of all greatness. You learn to respect money, money will take care of your problems, it will take care of your victories, right? It will take care of everything. I think that's why I'm so passionate about helping you guys learn how to become financially free, and then not just learn about it, but do it, right? Like the three most dangerous words on the planet in English language, and I could say them in Spanish and Portuguese and probably Italiano también, but the three most dangerous words are I know that, right? You don't know it unless you're living it. You don't know that financial freedom is important until you are financially free. Right? You don't know how to become financially free until you are financially free. You don't know how to sell 50 houses a year until you're selling 50 houses a year. You don't know how to convert a FSBO until you're converting FSBOs. You get what I'm saying? Like you know it when it's actually living, it's in 3D, right? And as I heard this, it resonated to me. The respect of money is the root of greatness, right? And dude, this is a dude that's been to prison twice. And from the sounds of it, he's been involved with drugs in his past. And you know what's cool too? I asked him, okay, what is he most proud of? And he went into talking about his boys. He's got 3 sons. I believe it's 8, 4, 8, 5, and 0, right? Talking about his sons. His biggest drive behind all of what he's doing, which is on track for $10 million business. $10 million. I want you to think about that, guys. What level are you playing at, and what level is it possible to go to, right? And there's people beyond 10 million, right? You heard of Apple, right? You heard of Microsoft. You heard of Grant Cardone. Right? There's several businesses doing way beyond that. And the cool thing about his business is the amount of overhead inside of his business compared to a regular brick and mortar. I mean, he's probably his most expensive is going to be his staff, right? His most expensive is going to be the leaders inside of his organization. Okay, but his one bit of information I got from the whole podcast is the respect of money is the root of all greatness. So when are you going to learn to start respecting money? Where do you need to start respecting money and learning to respect money? Do you need to learn how to manage it? Do you need to learn how to manage your dollars? Do you need to learn how the flow of money works? Maybe it's you need to learn about derivatives and how the flow of money works here on our planet today, right? Do you need to learn on how to create residual income? I guarantee you probably do. I would dare bet that very few of my followers are actually already financially free. And here is a guy, Ryan Stewman, and I'm not even going to put myself in that category, but here's another guy, Colton, that's financially free. I know several people that are running over $100,000 net per month, right, with their businesses. They're financially free. What are you going to start taking action to move to that direction, right? That's my journey right now, is to 10x. I am committed to 10x my financial freedom, right? What does that look like? Well, it doesn't even 10xing my financial freedom right now, right, doesn't hit $10 million a year, right? It just goes to show that all of a sudden now I can explode it. Why can't you go to $1 million a month, right? Why can't you create $1 million a month business? And then why is it important you create that $1 million a month business? You know what I mean? I asked him this question too, and you're going to see it on the podcast. Make sure to check it out if you're not already following on my podcast. It's on iTunes and Stitcher. It's called the Winning Series Interviews, and I do a lot of other stuff on there too. But with this, in his whole drive, I asked him, what do you want to do before you die? And we brought up the scenario. You found out in February you got terminal canceled, January dead. So you got 4 months, and that's a real scenario from one of my friends that passed away this year. And so this is real. He was actually talking about, we have several people whose either spouse recently passed away under the age of 40, or people that in the community have passed away, right? So we're not immune to this. People aren't immune to death, right? In fact, I'm reading this book, The Untethered Soul. If you haven't read it, pick it up. And it talks about death and how death can actually be your friend, right? Like how death can be on your side if you look at it the right way. So the question I asked Ryan is, okay, what's the one thing you got to do before you die, right? Like set money aside, set travel aside, set dollar. And one of the things he said, he really did say he would want to travel more. But he said, I might take a week-long vacation, be with my family, and then I would hustle that much more to get my message out before I die so that my message will continue on when I'm gone, changing lives. And I thought, holy shit. Then he brought up this whole point. You think about this. I never met my great-grandfather is what he said. I remember meeting my great-grandfather when I was very, very young personally, but not much. I don't remember, besides he passed away from Alzheimer's when I was younger, And he said, imagine if you were able to go and look at your great-grandfather's YouTube channel, right? That's the world that you and I have entered into, and most of the people are missing the boat, right? And so what legacy are you leaving? And I used to hate the word legacy because I'm not here to leave no fucking legacy. I'm here to change lives. I'm here to leave a dent on the planet, to put a footprint on Earth, to be able to put a mark that leaves, and I don't even care if my name's attached to it at the end of it, as long as that message continues the ripple effect of changing lives, that's what I'm about, right? Think about this, 10 years ago, you couldn't do it at the level, right? You think about when Tony Robbins started his career going around to change people's lives. I love him because he truly loves people, but he started with cassette tapes, right? Anyone still listening to cassette tapes today? No. Is digital going away? I highly, highly doubt that digital is going to disappear, but maybe there is something beyond digital. Either way, the idea of how you communicate is now stamped forever in this new existence. And it's exactly what we're in, guys. It's a new existence that we're in. If you don't get that yet, if you don't understand, we are transcending as a society, as a species, as an existence of beings. We're transcending. Right? And most y'all are missing the boat. Most y'all are missing the boat. Here's fucking Noah right here calling you to get on, and most y'all are missing it. You hear what I'm saying? So it's time to get on the boat. It's time to get into the digital world. I'm not saying live there. I'm saying put your mark there. I'm saying get your voice heard there. Become your Fox News, your CNN, your MSNBC, right? Get clear and get your message, because there's people that got to hear your message. Right? So just some things that I got from this interview. As soon as it's up, I'll get Rodell, my virtual assistant, to get it up and out. I had to make some corrections because I messed up something else. Cool freaking podcast. I'll get it out. You're going to definitely want to hear it. If you're not on my email list, so you make sure you know when it comes out, go to coltonlindsay.com and join the Winner's Circle. It's absolutely free. I will send a lot of emails, just so you know. My point is to stay in front of you guys as much as possible. There's other email lists of mine you can get on. Winning the Online Game, if that's where you need to learn on how to win your online game. If you're a real estate sales agent, you need to learn how to sell, go to fearlessagent.com. Or if you're a buyer, seller, a homeowner, and you need to buy or sell real estate, go to the WGR.com. the-WGR.com. Get there. Jordan, appreciate you being on here live stream today. Please make sure to share this video. If you can help me out, I appreciate you sharing this video. I want to get this message out there. Respect of money is the root of all greatness. I hope you see. Here's what happens when you say off the top of your head, when you say I could probably look this up, you're already setting the stage for them. Hey, I could go look this up. This is public information. This is like everyone freaking can look this up, right? But off the top of your head, you know what it is? You know what I mean? Say it with that type of tonality. Hey, listen, I could probably look it up. Off the top of your head, how much do you owe on the property?